Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
Great, man. Great as always, man.
I'm doing
How about you?
absolutely,
How about you?
I'm doing absolutely great, Coach. I know we're a day behind for the as when we normally would
Yeah,
be on,
shit.
but I don't know the internet. I don't know what it was doing last night, but we here. We're gonna give it to them, and I hope everyone jumped on that challenge. This is the first week of this month where we take the first week of the month and we take the first 7 days and of that first week and we take a challenge on whatever struggle we may have or whatever we trying to kick up or whatever we've been trying to procrastinate about. And I hope that everyone take that 7 days and work on something, work on yourself to be better. Take this 7 days. And if you didn't start today, because we supposed to came on last night, but look, internet interruption. So we here tonight. We're gonna give it to you. And coach, I want to talk to you a little bit. And I know our topic this one, things blacks need to understand. Things blacks need to understand. I know I gave you another topic. I can't think what it is, but it still is in the same ballpark of things black need to understand. I mean,
Okay.
anyway, you could freestyle. You just go for what you know, what you got on your mind, what you got on your heart. That's what I want you to bring. This is so authentic that we bringing this to our people, man. So make sure that our people go, man. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share our channel with your loved ones and people that you know, and make sure you hit the thumbs up because, like I always tell you, if we don't move this information through YouTube and the algorithm, it won't move. It won't move because the algorithm is not set up to move what we're talking about because this is not a platform to try to enrich black people. We're trying to come on definitely to help, as much as we can, the black community. And listen, if you don't want help, fine. I got no problem with it. One of the biggest reasons I come on and spit this knowledge is because I understand that our children are in trouble. And a lot of times when I'm dealing with children and been working with children for over 30 years, when I see that there's a problem in their lives, a lot of times, once I meet their parents, I understand a lot of times where their issues are coming from. So hopefully, man, that we wake up as a people and work to come together. But I want to talk to you about some things that we need, and I'm ready to jump right into it. So we're gonna do it. And when we talk about things we need to understand, one of the best things in life to have is an understanding. And one of the worst things to have in life is a misunderstanding that causes a lot of chaos and a lot of havoc in your life. So I always like to have a reference because a lot of time I've noticed throughout the years, people would take a word and put their own definition to it. And since we're here in the United States and dealing under the English method, then I like to take the dictionary meaning of words, and that's what we'll go with so we can have a reference when we're talking about something. So when we're talking about understanding, we're talking about get the meaning of to know well. This is very simple. Meaning that which is meant or intended. I just want to give us a reference so when I jump into it, we can go to work. In other words, I'm talking about why. I'm talking about why. These blacks need to understand for what cause or reason or purpose. Talking about why. The first thing that we have to understand is how to connect. This has hurt us as a people thus far. And that's why I started the program with the children to instill these certain things into them at a young age. So as they grow up as adults, hopefully it becomes second nature to them to literally take care of themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually without even thinking about it. And when you study, you'll see that mentally, physically, and spiritually, these are the areas us as a people we struggle in most. And so the things that we need to understand is how to connect. And that's another thing that we don't know how to do. We don't know how to connect the mind, the body, and the soul together. And that comes with first and foremost learning how to love yourself. A lot of us don't even realize and very unconscious that we're not showing love to ourselves. And how you gonna say I don't love myself? Well, you're unconscious of you're not showing yourself love because physically you're either overweight, you're obese, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're just not taking care of yourself physically. You need to wake up from it. Mentally, of course, we deal with a lot of different things when we're dealing with our mental state, and spiritually, a lot of us are just dead spiritually because we don't understand what relationship means, and it simply means a connection. That's just simply what it means. And so it's a science to it. It's a science to connecting them together. And a lot of us haven't learned the science of, of the connection. And that's one of the biggest problems that we're having as a people, because right now in your life, you either dealing with something dealing with your physical, either you dealing with something your mental, or you dealing with your spiritual. That is definitely what's going on with you right now. I don't even have to know you, but I know from doing and being observant for so many years that that's what we struggle with. So that's why a lot of times we struggle with our physical, either being overweight or obese, or just dealing with health issues because we haven't understand and we haven't understood how to connect these areas together. Our mental, man, in the Black community should have been dealt with long time ago. But dealing with some type of disorder, some type of mental issue, or some type of mental illness, it runs rapid in the Black community. I'm not talking about other folks. I'm going to deal with us right now. That's the problem. We always want to run and talk about other folks. Now let's deal with us right now. We talking about the mental. Uh, a lot of we're in positions in life because a lot of us have made and still making today because we're not maturing. We're making bad decisions. We're making bad decisions. And so I like to come on with you, coach, and come on and share this information because we got to wake up as a people, because if we don't, then you see generation after generation after generation after generation. It's just like a curse, really, that has come through generation to generation. And we got to work on changing that curse and helping our children. And so here we go. And when we're dealing with our soul, not knowing how to connect that inner dwelling that possesses principles. A lot of us can't get nothing done because we don't understand of that inner dwelling. We're not connected to it. And that's where our discipline and our self-control and these things come from, our tenacity. So we are disconnected as a people. So we got to make sure that we get on the ball. And I'm gonna tell you another thing that we have to stop doing, coach. Another thing we have to stop doing. We have to stop waiting on something or someone to come and save us. We got to understand that. That keeps us in a bind. It keeps us idle. It keeps us not moving because we keep waiting. We waiting. We waiting. This is what I want you to understand. You already have what it takes. You already stop waiting. You already have what it takes. Now you just have to make sure that you connect to it. It already dwells within you. You already have it. Stop always waiting on someone or something to come and save you. You have to be your own savior. You got to understand that. And that's one of the problems that we definitely have, especially in the church. When we now we're dealing with this politician thing, we always waiting on somebody to come and save us. And we got to stop that because you are your savior. Everything you need, you already have it. You just got to make sure that you connect to it. And I'm gonna tell you this: whatever your vice that you're facing in life, you will never, and this is a bold statement, whatever vice you're dealing with in life, you will never overcome it until you understand the connection. You will never overcome it until you understand how to connect a certain mindset to your soul. You'll never overcome it. That's a fact. You need that connection. And Another thing that we have to understand is this right here. It's an illusion when society have you focused on stuff and not your well-being. Be careful of that illusion. You working so hard to just accumulate stuff. You want stuff, stuff, stuff. And that's good. But you don't put stuff before your well-being. Don't get caught up in society's illusion. We got to understand that. And a lot of us, just because we have accumulated a lot of stuff and a lot of material things, we think we can made it. Yeah. I always tell you, I see you got your little house. I see you got your little car. I see your cigar. I see your Hennessy. I see that. I see that. I see it. But be careful because we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. But a lot of us, when we accumulate certain things, we contribute that to being that's our success. Society got a lot of us messed up, and we got to understand that it's simply an illusion because they already can did the study. They already know what the Negro like, and they know that if we can keep him or her focused on this stuff over here, they'll never come together and get nothing done because they always chasing stuff. We got to do better. We got to do better. We have to understand that if we are going to help each other, our purpose in life is to give or serve to help us as a people. People think that their career is their purpose in life. That's not your purpose in life. We got it. They got us all mixed up with this right here. Because whatever you're doing and you saying that your career is your purpose, that can change in the blink of an eye. So what happens is when we've been enslaved thinking that your career is your purpose, then once you don't make what has been embedded in you that's your purpose, now you're drinking, you're smoking, and a lot of us don't do well because a lot of us growing up, especially as athletes, we've been pushed to think that that's our purpose. And then when we don't make it to a certain level, a lot of times we don't rebound, we don't do well after. So we have to be careful and we got to understand that our purpose in life is to either give or serve to help our people. We got to switch that around. It's not your career. Your career could change, like I say, at any time, but your purpose should stay the same. You should use your career, especially if you're prospering from it, to help you with your purpose with helping someone else. But we are so selfish a lot of times that when we get certain things, oh, it just we don't share it, we don't give, we don't help. A lot of us have moved out of certain communities and just moved on. We care nothing about going back to help our fellow man. We're in bad shape. So I ask you this question, Coach, or you can bring it how you want to bring it. Things that blacks need to understand, and I'll come back. You do you.
I know you frame it differently, but it's um it's about the same. I think you said something about what blacks need to live the best life, something to that effect.
Absolutely.
But it's about the same thing, yeah.
Absolutely.
First off, man, and this rhetorical question: how long do you give yourself to work on yourself? How long do you give yourself to work on yourself? I know it's a continuous process. I know that, but I find, and that's from a conversation I had with someone. If you're trying to work on yourself for about 10 years, 10, 12 years, and you like still in the same spot, you lying to yourself, man. You're lying to yourself. And that ties into, you need to get out your way, man. You need to get out your way. Procrastination is basically, to some degree, you lying to yourself. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get there. I know I'm gonna get there. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get there. And time is just going by. And you stuck in the same spot. So get out your way, man. Get out your own way. Stop lying to yourself. You know, if you're honest with yourself, you should know your strength. You should know your weaknesses. We all got strengths and we all got weaknesses. You know, you always talk about help. You need help. You tap into who is where you want to be or moving how you want to move in certain areas. You know, like I said, right now, everything is a click away, man. Whatever you want to research, good, bad, ugly, in between, whatever, everything is a click away. So you don't need 10 years to get yourself together, man. Come on. You don't need it. You always open up and talk about a challenge. I think that's a good exercise because we got to have some sort of plan. We got to have some sort of plan for our life, for our loved ones' life who are dependent on us, whoever depend on us. We got to have some sort of plan. And to some degree, that plan might have to change, but that's okay because you can change like the time frame. You understand? You might have to change that. The amount of funds you got to put aside, that might have to change. But you're supposed to have some sort of plan, some sort of structure that you can pivot. Because if you don't have a plan, then all you're doing is just living, well, not living, existing rather, waiting for your demise. Basically, that's what you're doing. You're existing, waiting on your demise. And if you don't plan or have a plan for yourself, rest assured somebody got a plan for you. You might not like it, but you can be part of their plan. So that stands out to me, man, two things. Get out of your way, and that can be a plethora of things. Stop lying to yourself. You know, procrastination, that's a vice, man. That's a vice that you can't measure unless you know the person. You say, man, she been saying that for how much years? He been saying that for how much years? That's the only measurement you got. Okay. Get out your way. And if you set your mind on doing certain things, give yourself a time frame. Give yourself that time frame so that you can push yourself. It's getting close to that time. You said, well, what's going on? You know what I mean? If you don't have a time frame, you're just kidding yourself, man. You're just kidding yourself. So that's my 2 cents, man.
Man, I say this right here. When you say that time frame and when you say get out your way, that means really you need to get some help because a lot of your decisions and the way that you're doing things is not working. So,
Yeah.
right. So a lot of times, like you say, when you're gonna expand something for 10 years that you say you've been working on, and you see after 10 years, it's a lot of times it may be even worse. That means somewhere along the line, you didn't wake up with a consciousness to say, you know what, I need some help. And I see that that's one of our biggest problems. That's one of our biggest problems that we won't seek help. And then a lot of us don't even see that we need help. Don't want to see it. Yeah, a lot of us don't see it, don't want to see it. And because I said a lot of times it's always somebody else who's at fault when we need to sit down and really meditate and take a look at ourselves and see, well, am I in this position in life because is it my bad decision making or what it is? So that's great, and we don't understand culture. We don't understand how significant we are as human beings to this universe. A lot of people, they don't look at it this way. When we look at our children and we see how our children are suffering in certain areas, we don't understand that they're suffering in a lot of the areas because us as adults are not doing enough to provide for them. We're not giving or serving because we're not learning anything ourselves. I'll put it to you just like this right here. If we don't understand our significance to the universe and learn how to tie what's important to the universe that gives and serves to help us survive as a being, our children are going to continue to suffer. This is what I mean. When we talk about air, the sun, oxygen, rain, those things that are essential. Can you imagine if us as a people were not receiving those things? We couldn't exist. We couldn't exist. Now watch this right here. Our children are not doing well because as human beings, we are supposed to be the air, the oxygen, the rain. We are supposed to be the things that give and serve so our children can survive. So what you're seeing when you just observe that our children are not doing well because us as adults are not giving or serving to help our children. I just want you to kind of think about that because that's what's going on. So that's why when we did the other tape about solutions, and I told you I'm tired of people talking about, what's the solution? What's the solution? You're the solution to the problems that's going on. And when we're dealing with, we are a second nature, we are for children. I'm telling you, I'm coming back because trying to get the adults to wake up so we can help our children. We have people right now, knowing that we have an organization that you can go investigate, check out our work. We're working with children every day. People would not support us financially. But I want you to go and see where we spend our money at and the stuff we spend our money on. We all messed up. We have our priorities in the wrong place. And so that's one of the biggest reasons our children are suffering, because us as adults are not serving the purpose that we was put here for, and that's to give and that's to serve. I just want you to think about it. I want to know a human being being significant to the universe, what other reason is their purpose for being here? Because they get their careers messed up with their purpose. That's one of the biggest problems that we're having. Another problem that we have and that we got to understand, we're not evolving. We're not changing. We're staying the same. That's the problem. We have to stop being afraid. We some scary folks when it come time to getting something done. We can't get nothing done because we are afraid. And the Black man is so damaged right now till he can't lead himself. He can't lead his family. He can't come into the community to do nothing because he's damaged. And we're, as men, we're in different places in life. And that's why I said earlier, and I was just listening to a little earlier, Malcolm X was speaking on the house Negro and the field Negro. And that reminds me of us so much. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of us have accumulated stuff and think that we have made it and won't even go back into the community. And I tell you what, the community is so messed up a lot of times. Certain neighborhoods, certain communities, I'm with you. I understand. So this what to do. Since you're scared to go back into the community, it's okay. Go to our Cash App, support Second Nature for Children, because I'm in the community every day where a lot of you all won't even come to. Support me. I go every day. That's all you got to do. You don't have to literally come. support the cause. But today's man is not going to do nothing when we're talking about coming together to unite, to make a difference. We got to understand one of the biggest problems that we're having, especially with our children and the times that we're in, is because us as a people got to understand we won't even come together to help each other. We don't understand our significant role in the universe that we are to give and to serve, and we're not doing it. That's one of the reasons we see so much suffering, because everything else that's essential and that's significant to the universe, I just want you to imagine that if it don't give or serve, we won't survive as a people. And so that's what we're seeing. You got anything you want to share before I move on?
Evidence of evidence is there. The lack of views, lack of viewership, lack of support, lack of viewership, lack of support. That's evident right now. So what you're saying is on point. Now, if you notice when last time, well, it depends on how you frame the title, you get the viewership, right?
Right, right.
Right. But when you talk about things that hold us accountable, that we got to pay attention to, especially ourselves, you don't get that. So I'm saying that's the evidence that folks ain't trying to hear it. Even though they know the issues, they're not trying to hear it. But you can try to avoid all you want to. You can try to avoid all you want to. You're not going to live this life and make it like you ought to, or live your best life without being accountable. You got to be accountable. How you got to check yourself. You got to check yourself. If you don't check yourself, you're liable to, damage yourself. You know what I mean? And we see that going on right now. So, like I said, man, the lack of viewership, support that says a lot. To me, that's evidence that, well, folks really don't care. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just hoping. I know we have one or two people who are faithful who listening, and I just hope our children get a hold to this information, man. I hope our children, but I know that the times that we're in right now, in society and the things that um, our children gravitate toward is not this knowledge. So that's another reason we're losing as a people, because our children, society have them. And then society have us as an adult. So hell, no one is trying to figure this out, that we need to come together to fight against what society is putting on our butts. So we're in trouble, man. We're in trouble as a people. And then everyone is trying to get money, trying to get money, trying to get money. Listen, family. If you about to die physically because you're not taking care of yourself, that money ain't gonna mean nothing, family. Family, if you got bad habits and you don't understand money, if you're an alcoholic, if you like to do drugs, if you just got bad financial habits, more money is not gonna make you better. It's just gonna put you more in a bind. And we don't even understand. Coach, it's not hard to get money. It's not hard to get money. If you want to be financially successful, listen, you got to know who you are. You got to find a niche. It's not going to be given to you. You got to find your niche in life. That's what you got to do. You got to learn how to find your niche. Another way, you want to make money, you want to be prosperous financially, because Coach always talking about the financial aspects of it. You got to be willing to learn. So a lot of us ain't even willing to learn. So how we think we're gonna move and take things to another level financially? You got to be first. You got to find a niche. Hit me up. I can teach you how to find your niche in life. I've done a tape on it. Another thing for you to prosper, you got to be willing to learn. A lot of us think we know everything. You got to be willing to learn. You want to make some money. You got to use your 24 hours wisely. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. People talking about making money, doing this and doing that. That's why we so easy to be pulled in and scammed. People can come in with something that sounds real good. We want to make money. We want to be rich. We'll go with the scam. No, stop going with the scam and make sure that you use your 24 hours wisely on your niche and learning. I'm trying to tell you how to get it. This is how you get it. A billionaire, someone that has made $1 billion, he don't have 25 hours, he don't have 26 hours, she don't have 27 hours. They got the same 24 hours you have. I just want you to see the billionaire, what he or she do in their 24 hours, and I want you to look at what you do in your 24 hours. You got to use your 24 hours wisely if you want to make some money. Another thing, you got to be disciplined. You got to learn how to train your mind. You got to be disciplined. I don't care if it's making money a negative way. You still have to be disciplined. And like I said, if you got bad habits dealing with your mind, your body, your soul, the money ain't gonna last long anyway. Because the Bible even tell you that a fool and his money, they can't stay together. You can't stay together. Where's your consistency in striving for something? A lot of us can't even stay focused on a task. That's why I do the 7 you mentioned earlier. That's why every month I say take them 7 days and work on something that you've been struggling with, trying to spark a fire to it. A lot of us have no tenacity. A lot of us have zero tenacity. When things get rough, do you think when you're trying to climb that ladder that it's going to be an easy climb? And as soon as you fall, you just stay on the ground? You're not going to get rich, family. Your finances is not coming. I'm telling you how to get it. These are things that you got to understand. You got to understand the difference between hard work and smart work. That's why it's so important to know your niche. Because if you're trying to get an apple out of the apple tree, and I'm trying to make it simple to you, and you climbing the apple tree and you climbing the apple tree and you keep sliding back down, then you finally climb it, get to the top to pull your apple just to find out it's an orange tree. You can put all of that work in going in the wrong direction, climbing the wrong tree. Now you don't have enough energy to climb the right tree. I want you to understand that. And decision making is everything when it comes to making money. I want you to understand that. And I want you to understand that if you're going to make some money, you got to find out what's in demand. What's in demand? Right now, this social media thing, it's in demand. Watch this right here. You got people who come on YouTube, show clips of other things gonna happen.
Other people's stuff.
And you got, oh man, 1 million subscribers. Because they gravitated toward what was in demand. I can come on myself. I know how the YouTube thing work right now. So I can come on myself. But no, here I am really trying to help somebody. I can't get the views. I can't get the subscribers. You see, that lets me know even more we messed up as a people, because we'll gravitate, and that's why I did the video on gossip. We'll gravitate toward gossip and entertainment before we gravitate towards something that'll move our lives to another level. We're in trouble. And we got to understand, until we change our mindset on how we look at things, our children are going to continue to suffer because we're not giving and we're not serving. We got to do better as a people. We're in trouble. Coach, you got 3 minutes and 50 seconds. You got it all. I'm done.
I'm gonna add to what you were talking about as you get the money with the discipline and what have you. You got to know your wants and needs, man. You got to be able to differentiate between your wants and your needs. I've heard, listened to several pieces by so-called money people, financial people. And that is one of the things they talk about. Another thing they talk about is wearing your money. And you know we number one when it comes to wearing our money. The whole world got to see we got some money with the gear, jewelry, the whip. You know what I mean? You know what you got. You ain't got to let them know what you got. You know what I mean? So that's two things that stand out when it comes to that money thing, man. You know, all in all, man, I know I said it before, and I can see we're in a crunch. And I always say it's gonna take something of this magnitude or something even tighter to wake some of us up, right? Someone told me a week ago they paid $1,400 for a one-bedroom apartment. $1,400 for a one-bedroom apartment. That's my mortgage, man. So if this is what it takes, then fine. But I always say it takes something. It can take something drastic, and if it can be economics, it can be finances, and so be it. But something can wake us up, man. If we don't wake up ourselves, you know. We have never seen it like this before. Straight across the table, everything is high. So you got to differentiate between your wants and your needs. You got to stash something aside to, have that cushion, man. You have to. If you don't, then hey, that's on you. I'm doing it. You ain't got to do it. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So all in all, man, be mindful of what's going on around you. Understand? Dow Jones went down 1,000 points today. Okay, I'm just saying. So, or 401ks take a hit today. So I'm just saying we got to be mindful of what's going on around. You know what I mean? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have some sort of nest egg stashed away, because you never know. You know, you never know. That's what I got, man.
I'm gonna leave it right there, Coach. Like I always say, I appreciate it. I thank you so much, and I always take what you give at the end for myself. So if they don't take it, you got one taking it. So I appreciate you. And until we come back together again, great show. Thank you.
Take care, man. You too.